Hi, welcome to my channel, Readerwoman. My name's Judy, and let's talk life updates. I am sorry to admit, but I haven't been reading much. My focus has been elsewhere, and which is really quite odd for me in my life. I normally have a couple of books going, and I just in the month of October couldn't get on the book and reading wagon. So I decided to try, I decided to read a couple of, trashy romances, Regency romance, or so I thought. And so yeah, it kind of got me reading again. And yeah, I know it's nonfiction November, and I do have plans on reading more nonfiction. It started with, the first one was by Vivian Loret, whom I normally enjoy, but this one, The Maddening Lord Montwood, I didn't enjoy it that much. It didn't hit my fancy. The other one by Laura Lee Gerke, The Truth About Love and Dukes, I thought was kind of cute. But you know, I grew up reading Georgette Heyer. And I don't know why we have to have total sex scenes everywhere. It's not why I read the genre. So you might ask, why do you read the genre, Judy? Well, I've been thinking about it because I've been thinking about a project I've been wanting to work on regarding Georgette Heyer and her novels, and I'm thinking about rereading her novels chronologically. And, you know, Heyer in her romances, I never really liked her mysteries, but in her romances, I thought she did a good job of describing people. Not all of her heroines were ingenues, but those who were had a sweetness. That, you know, you knew that this was a limited time, that life circumstances were going to change their world and their experience level. And yeah, I mean, she has some great heroes and heroines that are just well written, and that you just didn't need to have full out frontal and anal sex, you know. I mean, not that Gerke did that altogether, but it's just all the graphic depictions. It's like, ugh. Anyways, I guess I'm a prude, but I don't really read it. I don't really read Regency for that reason. And the current Regency romance authors all put a ton of sex scenes in there. I like it for the description of the time, the witty dialogue, the clothing, the morals. I mean, I think that they tend to underestimate or like, yeah, we'll just have them get into bed a little bit before the wedding. Anyways, I don't, yeah, it's not me, but oh well. At least it got me reading. And then the book I just got done finished is The Woo Woo. Oh, let's see here how we can make you not that easy. By Lindsay Wong. How I Survived Ice Hockey, Drug Raids, Demons, and My Crazy Chinese Family. I'll review it later, but I just finished it. out of 5 stars, I'd probably give it maybe a 3. The biographies where people come from very troubled homes is a genre I've read and enjoy sometimes. Why Be Happy When You Could Be Normal by Jeanette Winterson. I always get that T, extra T in there. Was brilliant. I loved it. I've read it a couple of times. This I will not be rereading. She tried for humor, but for me the mental illness was so serious, and that I don't think she gave quite enough time to explain her recovery process at all. More the circumstances leading up to her becoming free from her family, in the sense that she was not in Vancouver, or as she called it, Vancouver, yeah, Vancouver. You know, which, and I thought it was very funny, looking at, you know, because the Chinese did take over Vancouver. I live very close to Vancouver, BC. And it was very, some of it was funny, but most of it was was horrifying, actually, that people who had serious mental health issues in today's modern world were considered possessed by ghosts rather than having a mental illness. So, and the story of where she was attacked by her mother when she was like 13 or 14 was pretty horrifying. And reading that, there was no edge of humor to that at all. It was more like, where was social services? So yeah, I'm still thinking about it, but it wasn't a super fun read, and it definitely had a lot of issues that needed to be addressed. I know she talked a lot as her older self, looking back at her younger self, about not having empathy and being able to express her emotions except through anger or eating. Yeah, I mean, I think I would have liked to have been a part of that journey too. How did she discover empathy and thinking of others? And, you know, instead of just being a little sociopath like she was almost turning out to be. So yeah, interesting book, but not top of my list. Lauren in the books, she always gives her, you know, what she's been seeing, reading, and all this. So I thought I'd just kind of simply do that, you know, with my little life update. The latest movie I saw was Pain and Glory by Pedro Almodovar. I know I butchered his name. Starring Antonio Banderas, who I thought was brilliant. The movie has really stuck with me. It was a couple of days since I saw it. It really resonated. And it could just be because I'm older, but things like the novel Less, the Pulitzer Prize winning, whom I can't, Sean Greer or something, Andrew Sean Greer, the author, maybe I just have a greater appreciation because I am older. But people looking back, retrospectives, are really touching me, and not just touching me, but making me delve a little deeper into my own heart and life. So yeah, I really recommend it. Pain and Glory. Music, which I'm kind of cheating here. Western Stars by Bruce Springsteen. And I only say that because I saw the movie. But but it was a very good movie. It was a very good movie. And there's just that part of it where he's talking about age and how with age, it's not so much that you learn everything or you know everything. It's just that the questions you ask are deeper, more looking for more meaning than just, a quick answer. And yeah, I highly enjoyed that one too. And the music was amazing, particularly with his orchestra. It was really amazing. TV. I have been watching The Great British Baking Show. The latest season came to Netflix, and so I finished that and was shocked by the winner, I have to say. Shocked, but happy. I thought it was a great season. And then YouTube. What am I watching on YouTube? I'm watching a lot, but one of the things that I am using to relax myself before going to bed, there's various channels that are doing it. There's a show in Britain called Time Team, and they go through, they give themselves 3 days. Oh, couldn't they give themselves 4? Or even a week maybe, but no, 3 days to come in and excavate an area that may or may not have archaeological importance. And I just find it fascinating, and it's been going on forever. I think I've been currently watching on the channel I do it with, I can't even remember the guy's name, but I mean, it's Zelding, blah, blah, blah. Like season 18. And I've even seen season 20 out there. So this is a very long-lasting TV show that we just don't get in the US. That's very, very interesting. I got done with Restoration Home or something like that, where this team, she's done remodeling, who was the host, and then she had a historian, and then architectural historian look at the house. And so as well as the people spending all their money and time remodeling, they also have a sense, they then have a history of the house and the property. And I found that very fascinating. Around here, if a building's 100 years old, you're like, wow, that's old. And there it's like 300-400 years old. Well, it's still not that old. So anyways, I'm enjoying watching these weird TV shows on YouTube that just bring a different experience than what I have. What am I going to be reading next? That's a very good question. I have 2 thoughts. One is I got a free copy of a new book by Mark Kenyon called That Wild Country. Let's see here. An epic journey through the past, present, and future of America's public lands, which I thought that might be very interesting. And then I also have Library by Susan Orlean, which I just bought a paperback, just came out with a paperback copy of that. So those are probably 2 on my next to read list. And anyways, let me know what you're reading, watching, listening, and we will be back soon. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Take care. Bye.